Today I want to talk about how spectacular your baby is. So I've got my cup of tea. I hope you can get yourself a cup of tea and sit down for 5 minutes with me so we can talk about how amazing your baby is and the benefits of focusing on communication with your child. Are you ready for this? In case you don't know me, I'm Rhea Cadillia. I'm the creator of the Infant Communication Baby Sign Language course, and I've been helping families for nearly a decade with focusing more on their communication together. You can enjoy a really strong bond with your baby. You can start that bond while your baby is still in your belly, in the womb. You can understand your child's needs and wants, and you can parent with joy and confidence, even in this complicated world. Your child can grow up with all your languages. They can be multilingual, and they can really feel at home in all your cultures and enjoy the opportunities of your international lifestyle. So I've lived in 4 different countries, and our children speak 4 different languages, 3 languages we use every day. And so I know this isn't always easy. It can be challenging, and international families sometimes struggle with how to deal with all the languages. They feel that their language situation is a mess, and the dilemma is, as a mum, do you only speak one language with your child? But what do you do if you feel like mixing or using more than one language with your child? What do you do? So these are some of the things I love to talk about. And today we're going to talk about the benefits of focusing on communication with your child, and especially the benefits of using baby sign language. So what is baby sign language? Is it a language? What do you think? No, a baby sign language is not an actual language. It has its roots in the sign languages that are used by the deaf community, of which there are many different sign languages. There is no official one international sign language, and that's the same with baby sign language. There is no one international baby sign language. Although I might argue that my method, the infant communication method, is an international baby sign language, because we use a limited amount of signs that have been simplified to allow small babies less than a year old to perform them with their limited motor skills. And we help international families, multilingual families. So this method is used by people who come from all over the world. So yeah, there is an international form of baby sign language. This is it. Okay, so what are the benefits of learning some signs? Well, the first one, and I think probably the most important one, is that you will develop a strong bond with your child. So this has an amazing effect on your family. This is what will allow you to have the family that you always dreamed that you would have. With your baby in particular, when you focus on communication with them, they will know that you see them. And what do I mean by that? Well, I have a quote here from parenting expert Magda Gerber, and this is a very beautiful thing that she says. I will read it. When we help a child to feel secure, feel appreciated, feel that somebody is deeply, truly interested in me, by the way we just look, the way we just listen, we influence that child's whole personality, the way that that child sees life. Isn't that beautiful? We are the greatest influence on our child's personality, how they develop, how they grow up, and their future success. It's a responsibility. But with some care and with a plan, we can create a very strong bond with our babies, help them to develop to their full potential, and grow up to be a well-adjusted person, a happy adult, which is, what we're going for, right? And have joy in the process, enjoy being a parent and being a family together. So that's the first benefit I wanted to talk about today. The second one is that using baby signs in your family is really practical. You and your baby will learn to communication, so that their needs and wants will be clear to you. And this actually can happen from the day one when your baby's born. So what often happens with newborns is that parents have they develop a checklist for how to deal with their baby's crying with their newborn. So it could be, why is my baby crying? I'm not really sure. Are they hungry? Are they tired? Are they cold? Do they need a nappy change? nappy is how we say diaper in the UK. Are they too hot? Are they too cold? Are they uncomfortable? Is there a label? You know, and you have this checklist that you develop and then you go through it each time. But actually your baby is born communicating with you with their body language. So from their body language, from the way they move or their facial expressions, you can tell, you can learn these movements and facial expressions, and you can tell from the day your baby's born whether they are tired or whether they're hungry, and you can understand these things before they start crying. Isn't that amazing? Before they start crying. So for example, hunger, you might find your newborn is doing like kissy lips and looking for where the milk comes from. That's a sign that your baby's hungry. And this works really, really well if you're a breastfeeding parent, or actually for in any way that you're feeding your baby, because if you feed them when when they're hungry and not when they're desperately hungry, feeding will go much better, and especially breastfeeding, because breastfeeding is a learned behavior. That's communication between your body. It's between like three things: between your body, mamas, between you as a personality as the mama, communicating with the baby, and between the baby. So three things are communicating all together to make breastfeeding a success. And if your baby is desperately hungry and crying, you might have had that experience. It's really hard to get them to latch on. You have to get them calm first so that they can latch on and feed. So it's really practical. It can help you with breastfeeding. It can help you with bonding. It can help you with understanding if your baby has belly aches, cramps. It can help you understand if they need to pee and poo, so that you can deal with the poo. For example, if they're suffering constipation or something. And baby signing helps your baby when they're a little bit older than newborn, so around 6 months old. They can tell you what they need and want. If they need milk, they can ask you for it using their hand like this. This is milk. And they can perform this many months before they can speak, because their first word won't come until around 12 months old, and that's just the first word, and it takes like a whole other year before they can start putting together sentences saying, I want this, I need that. So it's really, really practical. That was the second benefit that I wanted to tell you about. And the third one is that you will be kickstarting your baby's cognitive development. You'll be helping them build a bigger vocabulary earlier. And this is wonderful for multilingual families especially, because let's face it, a monolingual baby with just one language, a baby growing up with just one language will benefit from baby signs. Of course they will. But a baby with just one language, say they learn 1,000 words in their one language, that's great. A bilingual baby is going to have to learn 1,000 words in one language and 1,000 words in another language just to be in the same place in both languages. It's just double the work. And if you're a family like ours that has 3 or 4 languages, you see that it's a lot more work. So we have 3 languages that we use every day. So to be in the same place in all those languages, I need to make sure that my child learns 1,000 words in 3 different languages. That's 3,000 words. Okay, so it's more work and it takes more time. And your babies are completely capable of this because they are spectacular. As I said at the beginning, your babies can learn these 3 languages, but they need a plan. They need you to focus on the communication, and using the baby signs helps them start a little bit earlier, which helps them not fall behind, because it's important to know that delayed speech is not associated with being multilingual, actually. Being multilingual does not delay speech. If there is a speech delay or a problem, that would have been there with your child even if they were monolingual with just one language. But they need more time. So we can start a little bit earlier and we can give them extra support so that they can learn their 2, 3 or 4 languages. And I have prepared a worksheet for you if this is your situation. It's called My First Family Language Plan. And you can download it. The link is down below. And then you can create your own personalized family language plan. And if you need help with that, please reach out to me. We can organize a consultation. Oh, and there's another thing that we can talk about when it comes to cognitive development, the brain development, is that babies who sign understand already that visual symbols have meaning. Okay, so visual symbols, like remember milk, that's visual, and it means milk, right? So what does this mean? Why is this interesting for us? Well, it means that your baby will have a head start with reading. Babies who sign tend to look for meaning more often in visual symbols. So it could be that you have a 1-year-old or an 18-month-year-old looking at their books and interpreting already pictures and the meaning of them. So an example of that I can give you is my daughter at around 18 months, I think, was looking at one of my son's books. And in the story, in the picture, there was a mum that was trying to stop a bus because on the bus was her son's bag. And the mum was putting her hand out, and in the story she's shouting, "Stop, stop." Now my daughter cannot read, but she could understand the sign for stop, which is putting your hand up like this, "Stop, stop." And she didn't know the story. I hadn't read it with her. She was looking at the pictures, 18 months old, and signing "stop, stop," and saying the word "stop," which is fabulous. She's reading the picture. And then this also translates into reading the words as well. So yeah, it gives you a head start to reading. And again, for multilingual families, reading is really the key for allowing your children or helping your children build up those big vocabularies that they need in all their languages. So there you go. Now you know. So you learned today the sign for milk. Okay, you will have the link for the family language plan down below. If you are interested in your free guide to baby signing, then send me a message and I will send you the link to get that. And don't forget to check out the infant communication baby sign language course, which is everything that you need to know to have success and enjoy all the benefits that we've talked about today. And you will know how to answer the question, what do I do when my baby starts crying? So even if you're pregnant and expecting your baby, get started on these resources and this education, because it's really going to give you a great start to parenting. It's going to help the transition to being a parent go much more smoothly and with more joy. All right, so enjoy all of that. Keep in touch with me and let me know how you get on. All right, that's it for today. Bye.